Hi guys, welcome to yet another tutorial with Trev. This tutorial is based upon the for loop. The for loop is the concept upon which question 2 of your assignment 2 is based upon, right? So we will just explain that concept in this tutorial and then you can dive into it and hopefully it will help you to solve your questions. Now, okay. Let us, because it's cricket fever right now, let us create a program that will calculate for us the total scores or that the 11 batsmen in a cricket team have put together, right? So what we'll first do is that because the game has not started yet, the score is equal to 0 and the number of batsmen that have partaken in this game are also 0, right? So we have no one score. So the total score is 0 and the number of batsmen who have partaken in the game are also 0, right? So now we create a for loop, all right? Because, yeah, I will explain just now and then we press the enter key. So basically, we create a for loop and then we have an iterating variable and then we say this iterating variable is in this particular sequence because this is what a for loop does. For loop, what it does is that it loops, okay, or it iterates through a sequence of objects. So it goes through, that is what iterating means. It means that it goes through, it goes through the elements of a particular sequence, of a list, of a tuple, of a string. So it just loops through those things, right? And then all of those elements of the sequence, the items of the sequence, are all assigned to this iterating variable, right? So this is the variable that actually, yeah, that goes through each item and then it adopts each one of those items to itself. That is what the iterating variable does, right? So, and then once it has done that, once it has looped, once the item of the sequence is assigned to this iterating variable, then it runs through the block of code that we are about to write now. All right. So we want to calculate scores, but first we need to get a score. So we need to get the batsman score. So let us create a variable which is x. We want the user, we want the user to enter the score of a batsman, right? And then once the user has entered the score of that particular batsman, then we want the score of the batsman to be added to this total score over here, right? We want it to be added to that total score, uh, or rather team score, right? We want, yeah, that's what we want. We want the score of one batsman to be added to that team score. So what do we say? We then say score is equal to score, which is 0 at this point, plus uh, plus x, which is the score that we'll put in here, the individual batsman score. And then we want to keep a track record of how many batsmen partook in the game, which will of course be 11 batsmen, right? So we want to keep a track of that. And then we say that batsman is equal to batsman also, which is 0 right now, plus 1. Let's just, okay. So this is what's going to happen. Each item of the sequence here, the first item of the sequence will be assigned to this iterating variable. Then this block of code is going to run. Then basically what's going to happen is that uh, the program is going to ask us to give us to give the score of a batsman, right? Then it gives us the score of the batsman. Then we give them the score of the batsman. Then what the program then does is that it takes that score and it adds it to score, right? Once it has added that to that score, then we count how many batsmen have now batted, right? When we have counted here, then we go back here again. The second item of the sequence is assigned to this variable. And then we run this block of code again, one by one, one by one, one by one. And we go up there, up until we have run through all of the 11 items, right? When we get to the 11th item here, we run this for the 11th time, get the 11th score, and that score is added to that score, which, yeah, and then that one, right? Let me just, let us keep a track record there. Print, sorry, what am I doing? Score is score. Okay. Then finally, once all of this is done, then we want to print the number of batsmen that have partaken are batsmen. Then we will say the collective score is score, right? So this will be the totals. All right. Now let us run this code. Let us just minimize this. Okay, that's our code that side and this. So we run through this for the first time. All right. Go through this for the first time and we say, because that is a very poor batsman, Quinton de Kock, and then we say he only gave us a score of 1. Now, because he has given us a score of 1, the score, the total score at this point is 1. This is the code that executes. So let's go through that again. We run this code and we say enter. This is the first thing that it does. We enter the score of the batsman. Then that score is added to the total score, which is now 1 at this point in time, right? It's that 1. So it is score, which is 0, score, which is 0, plus Quinton de Kock's 1, and then it gives score 1. So this score is no longer 0, it is now 1, right? Then we go, then it counts 1 batsman, right? Then we go there, go through the second item, it is assigned to the iterating variable. Then when it is assigned, the second item is assigned to the iterating variable, then it runs this code again, as we can see over here. Enter the score of a batsman. Now this batsman is slightly a better one, and we say his score is 76, and now the score is 77, which is 76 plus that 1. So that score is no longer 1, it is now 77, right? And we go through and then it prints score, right? Then it asks us again the score of another batsman, and we say this one scored 45, and as you can see, the score now is 122 and 56, and then these guys were really good, and this one put up a score of 78 to 56, and then became poor. and it became, oh no, ducks. Other ones like 1, other ones, this one was slightly better, it put 23, this one 13. I made oh yes, see there, I made a mistake. Now I have to go through this again. I have to go through this again. Let me just close that and put this here. Yeah, I had made a mistake there. I wrote an A instead of an E. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's run this again. But I won't be explaining that again because we've already explained it. Quit the cock, you will remain with your one. Okay, 45 and 67, 98, 23, 56, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the number of batsmen that have partaken are 11. Their collective score is 305. 305. Alright, so the collective score is 305. That you can only do using the for loops. We'll meet again in the next tutorial. I hope this was very clear. Bye.